Shalom and welcome to this video where we're going to work on the photo of this church from Castle, England area, and we're going to just create pseudo HDR, bring details. So overall, okay, this is like before image straight from camera, and this is what we're going to have on the end. So you can see some quality in details. For example, bring more shadows, details out of shadows highlights. Again, before and after, make a texture pop up a little bit better. So we'll go to process and see how we can make our image pop up from ordinary shot that you can create it to something that more interesting and bring attention of the people. So let's go ahead and start working on this. So we'll begin by selecting image you want to process, and I'm just selecting church, and that's from the Castle area in England. So we'll go open the photo inside the camera is open for us, and it is a kind of flat image, and the reason we have it overcast you can see here, but some details hiding, so we need to bring punch a little bit out this photo. So let's go ahead. First we'll go to remove chromatic abbreviation on this, fix it some of those areas. We could enable profile, but you can see it does, I think, a little bit correcting. So in this case I'm going to use this profile. We'll take sharpness, bring back about 70, just to restore some of those sharpness that was lost in camera filter processing for that one. Okay, so let's go ahead, zoom back in. Okay, next we'll go to our basic tab, and right here we're going to take our highlights down, and you can see as we take highlights down, our skies start coming up. We have a little bit clouds, and that's what we wanted. I don't think we need increased shadows, and problem is if we bring shadows up, we can see we have introduced all this digital noise. So if you think you need to add shadows, just bring closer and slightly adjustments so we don't have any of those elements around there. Okay, let's go next. We're going to our luminous tab and HCL tab, and right here we can see how much we can influence, and I will like bring a little bit orange up, mostly just to bring this difference in to make the coloring pop up a little bit better. Let's go to next. We can look on the yellows, just slightly luminous those areas. However, on the sky, actually I want to bring down, so we'll make some elements of the sky darker, green a little bit up. In saturation we don't need touch here, but you also, if you want, you can bring a little bit more saturation up. After this, let's go click open image, and this is open inside the Photoshop. So after we kind of pre-process in a camera raw, we want to put inside. The horizon line is not even. If I bring up, you can see just a little bit skewed over. So let's go ahead and correct this with just slightly adjustment. Again, I'm looking, compare with some lines like right here, line on the roof. But this is, again, it's not all straight, so maybe even like right there, just all lines a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to use a content aware, delete crop images. Let's go click OK, and you can see it's filled up properly. Let's create a new layer, so we call adjustments, and mostly on this layer I'm using healing brush. Okay, and we just come closer, and I saw right here bicycle, so I don't necessarily like this bicycle here, so I'm going to slightly erase. Just remove that bicycle out of our picture. Okay, we'll go select on top. Okay, there you go. So just don't want that bicycle in this our shots. Okay, next we want to actually bring out a little bit more depth, create this HDR look depth of this. Let's go to press Control Shift Alt E on a PC or Command Option Shift E on a Mac, and we'll create new layers by merging all visible layers. And we'll call this pseudo HDR. Okay. We'll go to Image Adjustment on the selected layer, and we're going inside the black and white. So here's important things. We are going to use it soft light. In a soft light, it is 50% gray, it's invisible. But if you're going brighter, it's go brighter, and darker, it will go a little bit darker. So we are enhance those details. We adding more depth to our shadows and highlights. So to do this, we need modify. And what I'm looking at this point, it is bringing from gray a little bit lighter in some areas that I want highlight. So for me, it will be red, yellow, and green for the landscape will be highlights. And cyan and blue will go down. So let's go see, like right here, I'm increasing, and you can see how the image highlighting, like grass. See how brighter some elements, and I want to bring this, that will increase highlights. However, my sky are bringing it down, and you can see how darker it's getting. So it's not too much. And one thing, you don't want to stay too much pushed to the end, because that will introduce some grainy and some other artifacts. Okay, when we're done, let's go click OK. And now we want to flatten, because shadows and highlights are too harsh right now. So we'll go to Image Adjustments, we go to Shadow and Highlights, and here let's go set 10 pixels on each for the radius. And if you see not all properties, be sure you just check Show More Options. It will expand. Okay, now shadows, 10 pixel radius, will take amount 100% here, highlights 100%, and now by working with a tone, we can bring this slightly down a little bit more, and bring it our clouds maybe just a little bit up like this. Okay, let's go click OK. And now in our blending mode for the layer, we can switch to soft light. So let's go look before and after. You can see how we enhance those shadows and highlights and add additional texture to our church. So look right here on the wall, you can see how texture now come up, and that's why I call it kind of pseudo HDR, because it's not truly HDR image, but it is give it this perception. So, and we also add of the clouds elements, bring a little bit up. So that next, I want to actually take this and we can bring a little bit down. If you want even more texture on the same level, you actually can go Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask, and you can apply a little bit Unsharp Mask even more on those elements. You can see it's bring a little bit higher, okay, and that will be even sharper effect on this. So before and after, you can see how it's brought all of those details out. Okay, next step, what I want to do, it is add a little bit color to this, and we can do this with a curve. So just bring a little bit up. So before curve, let's go to vibrance, and we can bring vibrance a little bit up higher, and saturation just maybe just slightly. So add coloring to our effect. And you can see vibrance, it's worked very well with our sky slightly. Okay, next let's go to selective colors, and with selective colors we can modify our blacks. Black, this is our blacks. So I'll just bring just a little bit brighter, remove from crush black, and we can have our cyan color. So let's add a little bit +3, about 2 cyan, maybe about -1 to magenta. So it's greenish color, and we'll add a bit on a blue tint. So our neutrals, which is majority of them right here, so we can modify those ones. Again, we can bring clouds also out by separating a layer, but right now we'll just flatten a little bit, And right here you can see we have our yellows. So let's bring just slightly color adjustment. Okay, let's go to our whites. And you can see our whites is highlighted. So I will bring them actually a bit darker because it's clouds. And I want to bring them a little bit cyan blue, kind of like this. So here's our color correction. Just add this theme, something retro look, maybe play a little bit better with our colors. Okay, one more step, and let's just highlight our pseudo HDR. Before this, we'll go create curves. We take this highlight top curve, this one, and bring all the way down, right here, down below. Next, we'll select our selection tool, and we'll just draw this frame. Okay, when we're done drawing, you want to go and fill this frame with the black. So overall, you can see now we have transparency around. And in our properties for the curve, we're going inside the mask and bring feathering up. So it's just creating this vignetting. And I like this style vignetting better because if we need it, we can always change to white. We can change to all different effect. And we want to switch to soft light. So it's kind of better working with our colors. And playing with opacity, you can see how much you want to add vignetting to our image. You just keep the kind of attention to our center point. Okay, so right here, this is our adjustments. And let me open previous image before we touch up in a camera raw and compare before and after. Oh, so okay, right here I open import copy of the original. Let's go rename this so we can preview. And here's what was before adjustments, and here's after. So again, before, and you can see what's good. We have it a little bit flat on the skies stuff, and after we added a little bit more details to the sky, overall theming and everything. It's not very big work or post-processing on this, but it does enhance details, and I think the image overall look much more interesting, have a character, and most important, we will try bring this little bit HDR depth to our image. Thank you for watching this tutorial.